guy Maurice Marie Louise Verhofstadt, born the 11th of April 1953, is a Flemish Belgian politician, who served as the 47th Prime Minister of Belgium from 1999 to 2008. Defeating the Socialists and Christian Democrats in the aftermath of the Agusta scandal and Dioxin Affair. He was the first Liberal Prime Minister in Belgium since 1884. Since 2009 he has served as a member of the European Parliament, where he is the leader of the group of the Alliance of Liberals and Democrats for Europe and founded the inter-parliamentarian federalist Spinelli Group. He was the Alliance of Liberals and Democrats for Europe party nominee for President of the European Commission in the 2014 European Parliament election. Early career. Born in 1953 in Dendermonde, he became president of the Liberal Flemish Students' Union while studying law at the University of Ghent. He quickly became the secretary of Willy de Klerk, who was at the time the president of the Flemish Liberal Party. In 1982, at age 29, he became president of the party. In 1985 he was elected into the Chamber of Deputies, and became Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Budget under Prime Minister Wilfried Martens. Because of his economic views and his young age, he became known as Baby Thatcher. After being ousted from government, he became leader of the opposition. After a failed attempt to form a government in November 1991, he changed the PVV into the Flemish Liberals and Democrats. This new party attracted many politicians from other parties, notably from the Volksunie and the Christian People's Party. However, despite the fact that many had high expectations, the party did not manage to outstrip the CVP. Verhofstadt resigned and disappeared from the political scene, only to return to the party's presidency in 1997 with a less radical image. He gradually moved away from neoliberalism and became more of a centrist figure, a change which especially became clear during his first term as Prime Minister. Verhofstadt, partly because of a food scandal that broke out just before the 1999 elections, the VLD became the largest party in the country, obtaining over 22% of the vote in Flanders. He quickly formed a coalition with the Flemish Socialists and Greens and the French-speaking counterparts of these parties in Brussels and Wallonia. He was appointed Prime Minister on the 12th of July 1999, the first Liberal to hold that office since 1938. It was the first Belgian government without a Christian Democratic Party since 1958, and the first one to include Green parties. Verhofstadt was awarded the Vision for Europe Award in 2002 for his work toward a more unified Europe. The economic situation gave him leeway to raise the lowest social alimonies and lowering taxation. After 2001, the economic situation worsened. The Aging Fund, or Silver Fund, was set up, in order to ensure the maintenance of pensions until 2030. But despite his efforts to boost the economy while attempting to maintain the social benefits system, unemployment rose, after previously falling during the second De Haren cabinet. Much to the disapproval of his coalition partners, Verhofstadt and his VLD opposed granting the right to vote to non-EU residents. Instead, they proposed and were able to liberalize the procedure for obtaining Belgian citizenship. During the prelude to the Iraq crisis of 2003, Belgium joined France, Germany and Russia in opposition to the invasion. Verhofstadt too. Following the 2003 general elections, Verhofstadt formed his second cabinet without the Green parties, who were virtually annihilated in the election. For various reasons, the formation of the second government was delayed well beyond normal. The economic situation worsened to 1999 levels. Both politically similar parties gained approximately the same seats. Various governments were pressing for the abolition of the law of universal competence, which gave Belgian judges the authority to accuse and sentence non-Belgians with crimes against humanity. Accusations that were made had rarely been followed up, and were often dismissed as being little more than politically motivated international insults. Verhofstadt's second government was sworn in on 12 July 2003, with both coalition partners having agreed to abolish the so-called genocide law and replace it with a much weaker one. Guy Verhofstadt's second government consisted of his liberal Open VLD, the sister liberal Mr. the Flemish Social Democratic SP, and the sister Social Democratic Party PS to form another purple coalition. In the Flemish regional elections of 13 June 2004, his party lost votes, slipping into third place in Flanders, though this has had no direct impact upon his position as Prime Minister. There were rumors that the Christian Democratic and Flemish party that won the elections would participate in federal government. Verhofstadt was suggested as a candidate to replace Romano Prodi as the next president of the European Commission, but his candidacy was opposed and rejected by a coalition led by Tony Blair and Silvio Berlusconi. Since then, Verhofstadt has been faced with internal crisis after crisis. The first crisis coming to a head in the autumn of 2004 was the question whether DHL would invest in Brussels Airport, located in the Flemish municipality of Zaventem. The question which nearly caused the collapse of the cabinet was whether to grant DHL extra landing rights during the night, this being a hot topic of public debate and various court cases. In the end, the split between employment and night rest was for naught, as DHL had only used the Zaventem option in order to get better conditions from Leipzig. After the DHL crisis, Verhofstadt was faced with a communal outre crisis with regard to dividing the administrative arrondissement Brussels-Halle-Vilvoorde, commonly abbreviated to BHV. The dividing was an issue that the parties forming the Flemish regional government had written in the government agreement. This caused a veto to be posed by the Walloon parties. The crisis dragged on until spring 2005, when the matter was shelved until after the federal elections of 2007, as the Flemish parties forming the government, given the for them disastrous opinion polls, did not want the government to collapse. The Constitutional Court of Belgium ruled that all elections held after the 10th of June 2007 would be constitutionally invalid because of the non-separation of Brussels-Halle-Vilvoorde. In the autumn of 2005, Verhofstadt managed to score a success when he was able to negotiate a generation pact with regard to employment and social reforms, regardless of the opposition and actions of the unions. Verhofstadt was sworn in as municipal councillor in Ghent in January 2007, as a result of the 2006 municipal elections. In the council, he is seated next to another cabinet minister, Freya van den Bosche, who was elected a municipal councillor as well. He even postponed a visit to the Russian President Vladimir Putin to be able to go to the first session of the newly elected council. Verhofstadt 3. Verhofstadt led the VLD into the 2007 general election. Already with the 2006 municipal elections, the VLD showed signs of fatigue with the Flemish voter. who seemed to have had enough of 8 years of Verhofstadt and the Purple Coalition governments. In an evening speech on election day, Verhofstadt conceded defeat and asked for a new generation to lead the VLD. He was to step down as Prime Minister after formation of a new government. However, the formation of a new government was complicated, and in the end, CDNAMP politician Yves Leterme failed to bring about a new government. Yet certain policy matters became politically urgent. The king therefore asked Verhofstadt to mediate an interim government that would be in office for 3 months and could propose a 2008 budget. A deal was struck in December, and the interim government was set for inauguration on the 21st of December 2007. 2 days later, this interim government won a vote of confidence in Parliament, with 97 votes in favour, 46 opposed, and 1 abstention, assuring its legitimacy for 3 months. A permanent government under leadership of Yves Leterme assumed office on the 20th of March 2008. One of the first decisions of the new government, on the 21st of December 2007, was to raise the security level after foiling an attempted jailbreak of an Al-Qaeda operative. Post-premiership. After his premiership he took up the seat of senator to which he had been elected in 2007. In the 2009 European Parliament election, Verhofstadt was elected a member of the European Parliament for the term 2009 to 2014. He also has been put forward as the possible candidate for replacing José Manuel Barroso as the President of the European Commission by a coalition of Greens, Socialists and Liberals. On the 1st of July 2009 he was elected President of the Alliance of Liberals and Democrats for Europe group in the European Parliament. On the 14th of July 2009 he took up his seat in the newly sworn in European Parliament to which he had been elected in June 2009. On the 15th of September 2010, Verhofstadt supported the new initiative Spinelli Group, which was founded to reinvigorate the drive for federalization of the European Union. He is also a member of the Club de Madrid, an independent organization of more than 80 former democratic statesmen. The group works to promote democratic governance and leadership worldwide. Since 2012, Verhofstadt has been an independent board member of the Brussels-based, Brussels-quoted Sofina Holding, and an independent director of Exmar, a global transporter of gas and oil. In April 2015, Verhofstadt criticized Greek Prime Minister Alexis Tsipras over his meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin in the wake of the Ukrainian crisis and difficult negotiations between the EU, ECB, IMF and Tsipras's recently elected Syriza-led government. Via Twitter, according to the New York Times, Verhofstadt said Tsipras should stop trying to play #Putin against the EU, and that Tsipras should play according to the common rules and conduct serious reforms. In August 2015, he called for a reform of the EU's asylum and migration system in reaction to the European migrant crisis. He also criticized UK Prime Minister David Cameron and French President François Hollande for opposing the European Commission's proposal to distribute asylum requests for migrants over all countries of the European Union. He also called on governments of France, the UK, and Hungary to stop building up walls and border security measures, and to shift their effort on humanitarian assistance. In May 2015, news media reported that Verhofstadt was included in a Russian blacklist of prominent people from the European Union who are not allowed to enter the country. Other activities: European Institute of Public Administration, Chairman of the Board of Governors, Friends of Europe, Member of the Board of Trustees. Honours and Awards: Belgian Honours Grand Cordon of the Order of Leopold, Grand Cross of the Order of the Crown. Foreign Honours: Denmark, Grand Cross of the Order of the Dannebrog; Finland, Grand Cross of the Order of the White Rose of Finland; Greece, Grand Cross of the Order of Honor; Italy, Knight Grand Cross of the Order of Merit of the Italian Republic; Norway, Grand Cross of the Royal Norwegian Order of Merit; Poland, Grand Cordon of the Order of Merit of the Republic of Poland; Spain, Knight Grand Cross of the Order of Isabella the Catholic; Sweden, Commander Grand Cross of the Royal Order of the Polar Star.